What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Warehouse Series and welcome to another interview. Now, something special about this one. This person has never heard of me and they have never heard of my Discord, so I thought that made it interesting in itself. Also, he has his own TikTok, and he does warehouse selection on his TikTok, so I just thought this was a great collaboration between me and him. And honestly, I thought this was a great interview. And we are already talking about putting out a part two of this. So if you guys enjoy this interview, please give me the thumbs up, comment below, and go follow him at Trell114 over on TikTok. Great TikToker, great video, great content. And I thoroughly enjoyed this. So let's get on to the interview and I'll see you guys at the end. I appreciate you for joining me. So I don't know if have you watched any of my videos?
Yes, I saw when you were teaching people how to stack and things like that.
Okay.
I was like, wow, I never even knew somebody was doing videos like this. So,
yeah,
and you got some nice numbers.
Yeah, and I get that a lot. New selectors. I recently had a one-on-one with somebody, and they said, I just went into YouTube and typed in warehouse selector, and I can't believe someone came up and I was teaching this stuff. So, so I reached out to you because you are a different type of selector than me. That's for sure. Yeah. Because when I started, I've been in the warehousing for over 25 and a half years. And
Oof.
yeah,
hey, congrats, bro. It's tough work.
It is. And I started off with a review channel and it started taking off into I did a review on a warehouse, just a job review, not warehousing or selecting in general, but just warehousing. And I couldn't believe the reaction I got from it. So I started doing warehouse videos and they just kept taking off. And that's how it happened. I mean, it's
where meant to be.
Yeah, it was. And I'm like, okay, here's something that I know and I've been doing for as long as I have been, and maybe I could help people. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And then I always go to TikTok. I love TikTok, and I started typing in warehouse selecting on TikTok, and that's where I found you. And the reason why
that's what most people say, they just typed it in.
Yeah. And the reason why I reached out to you is because I literally watched all your TikToks, obviously, because I'm getting ready for this interview. And you are a very busy person. So I want to get right off into your schedule. I mean, you do TikTok. First of all, let's start off by what possessed you to do TikTok. Like, were you in the warehouse and you just said, I want to help others, so this is what I'm going to do? I mean, so what started off the TikTok part of your
So I actually have an interesting story on how I started TikTok, because obviously you've seen the way, and anyone else, you've seen the way that I pick. It's a different kind of style. It's not common. So,
and do you do that all the time, that flow?
Yeah.
So do you select for 12 hours a day? How long are you selecting for a day?
8 to 13 hours. Yeah.
And you're doing that same pace the whole time?
No pre-workout or anything. I tried pre-workout for about 2 months after it was introduced to me. But I've been doing it for about almost 6 years, so about 5 years and some change.
All at the same warehouse?
No. So I've worked for Kroger is the longest I've been with the company. So about three solid years and some change now. But I've been at Cisco, McLean, and Reinhardt when I was younger. So I spent about 2 years.
Can I ask you which warehouse you like the best? Because
Kroger.
in my Discord, we have people from all of those warehouses. So I'm curious on what you like the best.
For sure. So Kroger, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin is the best. The best as far as pay. I'm not sure you want me to discuss pay on here?
Yeah.
So you're getting $28 an hour. And I'm here in Texas. Starting off is $19.50, so it's a big difference.
Okay.
And the incentive pay did not max when I was in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. So sometimes I was making $50 to $80 an hour. I actually touched 6 figures order selecting in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Okay. But Texas, because the incentive pay was so great,
right?
But Texas is so different. It's rough touching. Even close to 60, 70. You got to work a lot. And their incentive pay is not the same, so it really matters. My children. So I have two kids, and I have to be a father in their life. So I
And
had to move.
I saw them on your one TikTok, and I
You
wanted
did?
to bring that up. Yeah, I did see your two kids, and they're cute, they're adorable,
I appreciate that.
and that's what I love to hear that because I got three kids of my own. They're all older now,
There
but
we go.
yeah, and I appreciate that you're you're doing what's best for your kids, and that's great.
Absolutely. They need a man in their life, man, and that's just that. Because I didn't have
I,
my real father.
I
So
hear you.
my grind came from my stepfather. He was military. So
Okay,
I was raised very disciplined, and I have a mentality. You know, you've lasted 25 years plus in the business, so you know it's a certain mentality you have to have order selecting. So
right,
um so the reason I started doing TikTok, man, everyone was like, you know, they treated me like a superstar in Economowalk, Wisconsin. And, you know, we had, you know, they have third parties, Capstone, MHF,
right.
that
Yeah, we
come
have
worldwide.
so
Oh,
Capstone in your place at Wisconsin. Can they select?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so Capstone at our place, they're just they unload trucks and they just break down product coming off the trucks. They're not allowed.
Likewise for Texas.
Okay, they're not allowed in the warehouse.
Yep, nope. Same way in Texas, Capstone does not select, but Capstone selects, and so does what's the name? A1
Okay.
and Merit, not Merit. It's you know it's different third parties, right?
Yeah.
And MHF is the Latino company. I think they get help from Mexico, come up here, make some money. So you know these guys are coming in, they're getting rotated every week. It's a new batch of people. You know, it's during COVID season,
Right.
so I just start seeing these new faces, and the people that work for Kroger, they stop everything they're doing to watch me select. And I'm like, bro, what's going on? I was getting a lot of attention for like a year straight. And eventually people started not liking me because my numbers were so up there. They're like, bro, you're raising the bar. They're going to make it harder for us.
Right.
You're showing off and
So were
and
you
that.
ever in a so Kroger's a union, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Teamsters.
Okay. So would you rather work and so you probably been in both. Have you would you rather work in a union or a non-union shop?
Always union. Always
It's
union.
union. I like that. I'm in a union myself. I'm in Teamsters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There
And
we go. Yeah,
yeah,
always union.
okay. And
So
go ahead, go on.
so you know, I started getting a lot of dislike. You know, they got sick of the superstar. So something registered in my mind. I was like, oh well, if they're tired of seeing it, I might as well show the world, because I remember how when they first seen it, they were, and then they're like, oh, he's just showing off. Well, this is my work. This is how I work. This is
Right.
how I like to work. So I got a great idea to start recording and let me see what the world has to say. So the first video I posted, that's the one that you see at 1.6 million right now. So
Right. Okay.
they
And
they love it.
I'm curious, do you stage the camera or do you have actually someone filming you?
So that video, I had a girlfriend at the time at that warehouse, and she recorded all of those for the first video. The rest of them that I previously made were I stationed them in the corners of the racks, and you know you have to do a
Yeah.
collective.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to do a
Yeah. And
collective. So
I've so the only time so when I film in the warehouse, I prop it on my jack when I'm selecting, but when I'm doing forklift work, I actually stage it.
you
So
stage
that's
it.
how I do it as well. So with that being said, I've seen the style that you move. You move very fluent through the warehouse, and I like reading your comments because one of your TikToks you talk about the haters, and I actually recently talked to somebody. I'm always private talking with somebody on Discord, and somebody on my Discord was having an issue and I told him, I said, I turn off the bad comments on my YouTube channel, but at the same time, I could still read them. And
That's right.
oh my, it's like people just they can't stand you. It's like,
So you go through it too.
yes, I go through the looks,
Yes.
everything. I
The
mean,
cold stares.
yes, people like to point out everything that they possibly could point out on you. I don't know why. It's probably because you're doing something to better your life and
Yeah.
help other people. And people, I don't know why people just can't stand that. It just it
It rubbed me
irritates
the
me.
wrong way,
It
which is
does.
why I created the TikTok.
There you
That's
go.
hatred is the reason I have millions of views now, because of
Yeah,
hatred.
and you're well over. 4,500 followers now, I've seen.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir.
and like I said, when I first started this, I was at like, that 1,000 mark on YouTube is the mark. You're just like,
That's right.
because that's when you get monetized and,
Monetized.
and all that stuff starts rolling. And I'm like, I'm probably never going to get there.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm over 5,000 subscribers, and I'm growing. And
Shout out to you, man.
yeah, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate my followers, and I appreciate the people that watch me, and it's fun. I like it, and then I get to meet people like you, which makes it even better. I recently did a interview with somebody on my Discord. I've done 2 interviews so far. You're my third. You're the first.
Nice, nice.
You're the first person that I've interviewed that was not on my following me on YouTube or Discord. So that's I really.
I'm sure I'll follow you now.
Okay. And I appreciate that. I follow you on your TikTok as well.
I appreciate that. I got to make sure I do follow you though, because
Yeah.
that's important.
And I also want to ask you, so
Yes, sir.
The way you move through the warehouse, I'm taking it that you're making incentives.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you explain a little bit what your incentive program like at your work?
So incentive in a Econo Walk, I'll explain that one first because that's the video that
Sure.
with the most views. That was about anywhere from 200 to extra 800, almost $1,000 sometimes. It depends on how many hours you work. You get the most incentive the more hours you stay at the rank that you're picking. So if I'm picking 180% or 200%, if I'm picking that for the entire week,
Right.
I'm making a lot of money. But if I'm only picking a 180 one day and a negative 80, you know what I mean? Well, not a negative 20.
You're not making much. Yeah. So you were making an extra 800 a week on incentives?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's just insane. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I wasn't the only one. I was the fastest one in grocery, because grocery is the hardest department in every warehouse I've been to, because you have to be fast and strong. And in the freezer, everything's multiples, it's tiny, lightweight. And, it's freezer people have chemistry to where they're all on one accord.
Right.
Perishables, you don't have to do long distance traveling. You don't have to pace yourself or run. It's item, 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 item. Grocery, you have an item here, drive down, item there.
And that's what I'm in right now is grocery. Are you just in grocery at your current place, or can you move from place to place?
So I do grocery, but to get overtime, I go over to perishable. So I'm good at both either way, but I'm not a freezer guy. Absolutely not.
I always say I wouldn't work in the freezer. I don't know how they do it. I couldn't do it.
Nope. If I wanted to, I know I could, but I'm good.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, so that's crazy. So our incentive program at our place is 120%. You get 50 cents per minute. That's the max.
See, how did they break it down like that, man? That's I followed you on my other channel as well.
Yeah,
I didn't know that they even broke it down like that, man.
Yeah, that's how they do it at our place. And honestly, I would say probably 7-8 years ago, we didn't even have incentive. The only reason why and I talk about this on my channel, the only reason why they implemented incentive program is because they can't get people to stay at our work. And that's where I want to bring this up. At the warehouses you've been at, is it hard for them to retain people?
Absolutely. This is a revolving door job. People, they walk out and leave their power worker in the aisle. Like, I'm done with this,
we've had that at our work as well. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
warehousing. And have you seen any of the automation, the fully automated pick and warehouses out there?
We have one in Dallas. Last time I checked, I have not seen it with my own 2 eyes, but I heard that that's the new replacement for us.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is.
It'll be a good 10 years before they can fully
absolutely.
replace us.
Yeah.
We could stack up and figure something else out by then.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So you're 25 years old, correct?
26 now.
Okay, you're 26 now. Like I said, I watch your TikToks. I'm trying to base everything off your TikToks. In the warehouse that you're currently at, can you do other jobs in the warehouse besides selecting?
So I lost my seniority. We're a union and Teamsters, right? So I had 3 years of seniority in a Econo Walk. So I was able to forklift in my later years there. I was able to load. I was actually able to do that stuff pretty quickly. And it got to the point where I was getting called to be able to take that option, the upgrade. But to make my incentive money, I'll say, no, I'm good. I just want to select.
Okay.
Because the more selection hours, the higher the incentive that you
Okay.
get.
Yeah, and
But if you go and load or go to salvage, you're not going to get paid for
right.
incentive.
And that's what's different at our warehouse is that you can make incentives on a forklift as well. And it's very easy to make incentives on a forklift.
Ooh, it's easy.
Oh, it's so easy. Our selection is actually hard to make incentives on. The way
See, you can get incentive on a fork, but loading is where that really messes you up in salvage.
okay.
Fork you can get incentive, but I wouldn't say it's easy in Texas. It's more so easy in the Commonwealth.
Okay. And in your warehouse, what shift are you working?
So I'm 5 a.m. to 1:33, 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay. That's actually not a
Yeah,
bad shift. I mean, you get the
yeah,
whole
it's not bad.
evening off. Yeah, it's not, that's actually nice. Is there different shifts or is it just that shift? I mean, is there other people that
So
work?
for grocery, that's
Yeah.
the only shift. For perishable,
Okay.
I would say they come in at 9 to about 5 to 7, 8, sometimes 10, 11 o'clock. Freezer comes in at 5 a.m. and they leave at the same time as grocery. Um, if you want to do overtime, you can go to another department. We usually help out perishable.
Okay. So is
They
your
used to
warehouse
have
connected
4.
then? Like the perishable and the dry goods, is it connected?
Yeah, you just, pull the rope down and go through the doors, the big
Okay.
doors.
Yeah. So you got a
Yep,
big site there. Yeah, ours is in
absolutely.
the same area, but we're at two different warehouses. So basically,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So at our warehouse, what we do is every 6 months we bid where we want to go. If I want to go
That's
perishable,
right.
yeah, I can go perishable. If I want to go dry goods, I can go dry goods. So that's how our place works. Yeah, we're called Giant Eagle. It's a very small warehousing industry up in the Pittsburgh area. They're in Ohio. There's like 100 and like
Steelers fan?
no, I'm not. I root for the Steelers. I'm not a big football fan. I am a humongous Penguins fan. I'm a hockey fan. I played hockey in high school. So
Woo!
yeah,
Y'all are rough.
yeah. So that's what I love. And they're actually on right now. They're starting right. It's 7:03 in my time, and we're actually starting right now. We're getting ready to play Philly again. That they just beat us. So
Okay, okay,
hopefully
okay.
it's a different outcome this time around. Uh,
That's
so
right.
so back to your warehousing. Here, I'm going to look up on my board. So I always joke around. I got a board up here, and I joked around with the last person I interviewed because on my channel, for people that watch my channel, I hate slip sheets. I'm not a slip sheet person,
Me neither. Can't.
and I
It's
hate.
cheating.
I don't hate them. I feel like people rely on them too much. And I joked around saying the
That's
only time I use slip sheets is during interviews. Your questions are written up on a slip sheet.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, so
That's
that's when I
hilarious.
use my slip sheets. For your TikTok, are you getting paid on there? I'm not 100% sure how TikTok works. Do you get any
For
kind of
sure.
revenue for TikTok?
So I had an idea to post a lot more videos because I could start getting paid at some point if I posted more videos, but I've been real chill on that right now because I'm actually working on something. And as soon as I'm completed with what I'm working on, which I'll share with you later,
Okay,
I'll be posting a lot more videos of selection.
okay,
Um, but I'm not getting paid at this moment, and
okay,
I don't even know the requirements.
right.
But I've gotten a lot of people, trying to do like endorsement offers and things like that. So
Yeah, I get that a
I'm
lot
just
with my uh, review part of my channel. This is called Tim's Reviews Everything and the Warehouse Series, but most of my videos are the Warehouse Series because that's what people want to see. You got to go with what people want to see, and the people that
content.
and I did a video on this, and it's actually kind of comical to me that I get emails like literally every week of people that
That's right.
they want to give me free product and they want me to review their product, but they want me to do it as they want. And I pretty much give them the middle finger on that. And I tell them,
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
exactly.
I did
Right.
I purposely started a review channel because everyone is so biased of their reviews. And that's why I did.
Right.
And you're telling me exactly the platform that I need to do it on. So you're just proving to me that I'm right. So
That's right.
I don't Persona Nutrition was the only place that gave me free supplements for a month and said, you do the review how you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did an honest review on that. So that was, And that's why I don't do that many reviews, is because of that reason. And I'm not just going to go buy stuff to do reviews. Uh,
That's right. No, it has to be given. Yeah,
and with YouTube and any type of content, like with TikTok, you got to go with what works. And people want to
absolutely.
see, because I put the thing that I love about YouTube is you could put polls out, and I put polls out. What do you guys want to see? And they want to see selection videos. And it's not even the forklift videos; it's selection videos. So that's what I put
Yeah,
out. I want to put out what my viewers want to see.
absolutely.
All right.
Because it's such a it's like selection is such it's parallel to how life is. You got your foundation that you lay down. Without foundation, you
Yeah.
can't even do anything, you know. And then you start to stack by faith. You can't. It's every order is different, but it's kind of the same. You just got to know that it's all going to work out, man. And it's a beautiful thing, man. When you think less, you can go faster.
Right. It is. And so that I want to lead to that. So I teach on my channel that you need to have a system. And
Yeah,
what I mean by a system is that every order in the same part of the warehouse, you're throwing the same cases in the same place every time. Now, the way you move
right.
throughout the warehouse, you got to be thinking fast. I mean, the way I
Yeah.
watch TikToks. So
Hmm.
do you? I'm taking it. You have a system.
Yeah. So you want to hear it?
Yeah.
My system is so you know you got all right. If we're talking grocery, you got about 7 different orders or 8 different orders. You
Okay.
know, they're not all going to be the same every time, but the foundation is usually the same.
Right.
So you want the hard things, not you, whoever's listening. You want the hard things in the corners, the heavy things, and you want the soft things in the middle or the upwards middle. And you build around that and you lay it the same way every single time. And especially if it's a can order.
Right.
Yeah, you got to follow the pattern that you see the forklifts drop. You can follow the pattern on there if you have multiples and just create that platform like that. But as long as your foundation is to the corner of the pallet, everything has to be to the corner of the pallet.
Right.
And not too many spaces to where when you do wrap it, it's not going to TP or anything like that.
Right.
But as long as your foundation is solid and squared,
Yeah.
not all tacky and zigzaggy, you feel me?
Yeah.
Then you can start building. As long as those corners are always heavy or the sides are always heavy, you can
Right.
just start building and building and building.
So
That's my technique, man. It's nothing,
yeah. So,
nothing too
and
hard.
if you guys have been following me for any length of time, he just explained exactly what I preach on this channel, on my channel. And he's saying, you're saying hard corners, soft inside, and I say solid corners and
Yep.
weak inside. It's the same thing. So your basic
Same
building
thing.
blocks are the same thing that I teach. And I when I selected my warehouse, I don't care about incentives. I don't know what it is about me. I'm just like very
And
particular.
it's no problem.
Yeah, and I want my
Yeah.
pallets to look as pretty as possible. That's how I
The
am.
OCD thing. Yeah.
And it is, it really is. And that's why whenever I seen your TikToks, I'm like, I gotta interview this guy because he's the total opposite of me on you're about speed and I'm not.
Yep.
And I want people
Right.
to hear two different sides. I don't want people to just think that my way is the only way. And
For
that's
sure.
why
For sure.
and that's why I reached out to you. So I'm curious with the speed that you moved through the warehouse and you making high incentive pay or I should say high standards, like your percentages are very high. Have you ever dropped anything? I noticed on a couple TikToks that you like to build the back pallet first. It seems like you had your back pallet up high and then you build the front pallet. Is that how you like to stack? And have you ever dropped anything?
So the dropped anything, absolutely. Every single selector has always dropped an order. Every year you will drop an order, but it's very seldom. I
Right.
don't normally drop an order. Um, our warehouse here in Texas is kind of built on a slope. So some orders you have to just know your warehouse that you're at to
Right.
where you turn certain corners. It's very important to know your warehouse, to know what aisle has a pothole in it or this, you have to know how to build your order and
And
know
they
where the
hurt your
work
back
is.
when you hit those stupid potholes.
Dude,
We have a
absolutely.
couple in our warehouse where you forget about it, and when you hit it, you're like, it's like,
Exactly. Exactly. Like, up, that hurt me and the crown. So,
yeah,
um, yes, I've dropped orders. Mistakes happen, but it's going to take money from you if you're doing incentive. And if you're just trying to make your base rate, it's going to take from you as well. So it's best to just not drop orders.
Right.
So very seldom that happens. As far as if I'm stacking on the front or back first, it just depends on the order.
Okay.
The only way I'm stacking in the back is if, we have two different stops, and
Oh,
it
so
can
you have
profit me
multiple
to stack in the
stops
back.
on your order.
Right.
Okay. So
Otherwise,
it's
I
sort of
like
like
to
a
stack.
Cisco thing. Cisco has multiple
Yeah.
stops as well. See, our orders that we
Right.
select in our warehouse, it's all the same store, so we could put whatever we want on both orders, or on both pallets rather.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
Beautiful. Now, the reason I like to stack high on the front pallet is because it's a rail right there.
Yes.
And that rail, you don't have to worry about driving too slow because the rail is always going to brace those cases. So
Right.
I love doing that. Yeah.
All
So
right.
either or. And sometimes I just like to mess with people just to prove that I can do it. Stack it on the back and it doesn't need a brace. So
Yeah, and
I'm kind of go ahead.
I'm also curious, how many people are on the floor in your shift? Because the TikToks that I see, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people on the floor.
So I'm always going to do the two warehouses because it's two different warehouses on my TikTok. The Economy Walk one, there's 1,000 people on the floor between each
1,000?
department. Yeah, that's a humongous warehouse.
Wow.
Yeah, especially with third parties in there and things like that, it gets pretty crowded. But I
Right.
choose to do my video when it's not a lot of people in the aisle because
Okay.
I don't want them to think, it's not necessarily okay to do that.
Yeah. Well,
So
I'm the same way. I'm not allowed to film in my warehouse, and
right.
I've actually had supervisors tell me they watch my videos and they haven't disciplined me. So I'm like, whatever. It's like,
Hey, likewise, I'm like,
yeah,
hey, it, dude, someone has to record greatness. It is what it is, man.
yeah.
And they can do what they want to do, but we have to show the world, and it helps people. You
Yeah,
know,
it does.
my videos
And it's a
motivate
job
people.
where
Your
millions of people work over the world. So I mean, if we can, and I always say that selection should be a stepping stone. In my opinion, and I'm going to get to this, I'm going to ask you this
likewise,
next, is I don't think it should be a career. I think it should be a stepping stone because you can make a lot of money in this job doing what you're doing, and it can help if you do the right things and you help and you have a plan. You could set yourself up for something better. And so that's what I
absolutely.
want to get to you next. What's the plan on selecting? Do you plan on selecting for another few years or what? And where do you plan on going after this? If you plan on,
So for sure, selection was never the plan. It kind of just happens in this life when we don't choose college. So I didn't choose college. I even had a
I
year
didn't
free of
as
college.
well. I didn't as well. So,
Yeah, so I found out I could make a bunch of money and not go to college when I was 18,
right.
and I chose that. But I will say this: my plan now is I've created something that I can discuss with you about later. But I've created a product that I'm not going to specify that
Okay.
has something to do with warehouse, and I'm going to strike the iron while it's hot, and that's going to get me out of warehouse, a business. So hopefully
I
everyone is
love hearing that. I love hearing people that think outside the box.
exactly. So I have to capitalize off of all of these views and attention because the product that I'm producing is necessary and it's important for people to have it. So
Right.
that's my plan. No, it's not a career. You can, unless you're hopping on that loading truck or that reach fork, it can really damage your body if you do it. If you're running for incentive for 20 years,
Right.
once you're addicted to that incentive money, you're addicted. You don't want to stop. You don't want to go to base pay. So,
I
um,
wish I remembered the name of the company, but I don't. I had a Zoom call with someone down in Texas. They wanted to fly me down to help organize their new warehouse. And I declined it because it was going to be like a month. And
for sure.
I have two kids with autism and I can't do that. It's like, so my Zoom call is telling me we have less than 10 minutes left. So I just want to keep going here. You
No
know,
problem.
so yeah, I declined that. So the opportunities come up, but it's up for you to, and I want to hear about this. I'm curious what it is.
For
Uh,
sure.
so I wanted to get out of warehousing for a little bit because We got less than 9 minutes left, or about 9 minutes
For
left.
sure.
And I also noticed that you're a rapper, that you rap.
Yeah,
I've watched a couple of your TikToks where you rap. And I also noticed that you are a Christian, correct?
absolutely.
All right. So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna actually leave in the message, or in the description below, I'm gonna leave a link to a former warehouse worker that we had at our work, and
Really?
he goes by Church B. He's a Christian rapper. And
Really?
yeah, and
That's amazing.
he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
Okay.
And I think that I want to turn you on to him because
For
uh,
sure.
one thing I want in this world today is positivity,
That's right. That's right.
and I would love to see more positive things like he does. I'm not going to get in too much into religion, uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but he is a person that I watch because I used to work with him and I know who he is, and he's a very good.
That's right.
He's an awesome person. So I like I said, I'll leave that in
And
the.
we need it on the floor, man. The brotherly love on the floor is important because, like we talked about, hatred is thick on the floor,
Oh,
especially when you're talented
big
or
time,
got
big
something
time.
going.
Yeah.
So I like to spread positive energy. I pray for my
And that's
people.
another reason I told you that in the emails when I was reaching out to you. When I was watching your TikToks, I noticed how positive you were. And I love positive people. I can't stand this world that we live in today. It's just full of negativity. It's full of division.
Overload.
And I hate it. I can't stand it.
Yes.
I actually went to a store earlier today, or I'm sorry, yesterday, at the time of filming this. And the girl, she was a young girl, and she was behind the counter, and just her energy was different. And I made sure that I told her that I really appreciate your positive attitude. And
That's right.
she put a big smile on her face. And I think people need to hear it whenever they're doing well, because
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just there's too much negativity.
Too
Uh,
much negativity. You
you
do a
know,
good job, they throw their nose up at you.
yeah,
Like, wow.
yeah,
I almost pulled my hair out when I found out what life really was. Like, wow, they don't want you doing good, man.
yeah.
Only a few.
And I commend you for moving to Texas to make sure that your kids are going to have that bright future ahead of them.
I commend you for sticking to the hard job of a father, and then you have two autistic kids. Like,
Yeah,
that's not easy.
it's not. They're older now, so it's a little bit easier. My oldest son's 19, and my I have actually twins. So my
Woo!
daughter, that she's the sibling of my other autistic son that's 17. They're 17. They'll be 18 next year. But she unfortunately had to grow up real quick. She was
Yeah.
literally with my son every step of the way, making sure that, she basically helped us raise him, and
It
uh,
was probably needed, and it's appreciated.
oh, big time. Yeah. And I'm glad that everything worked out the way it did. And but and once again, I'm going to end this interview with saying that I really appreciate you for reaching out to me. It's I wanted to interview someone different, besides someone that actually didn't hear about me, that doesn't know who I am, and hasn't
Absolutely.
watched my videos, and I appreciate what you're doing. I'm interested to hear what what you're working on, and hopefully I can throw some insight on that. And we got a couple minutes here. I'm just curious of what possessed you into rapping. Is it something that you just you thought, hey, this is a way for me to vent? Can you touch base on that just a second?
Yeah. So I grew up pretty much my biological father, because I have a stepfather, and I'll make it under the time that you said, but he that's all I knew was he was a rapper. My older brother
Okay.
was a rapper. It's just always was in my family. So since I was 7, I was doing music.
Okay.
More so secular. I've also been to Hollywood. I found out that the devil is real. I found out you do have to sell your soul. I have a crazy life story. So it's the
Yeah.
reason why I ran back to the warehouse and I decided to live a normal life. So now I'm more so into when I'm speaking music, if I'm not pouring my heart out about something that happened to me, or if I'm not trying to educate people, about the Bible, I don't really do music
Okay.
unless it's like that. So I'd write about, love or something like that. But for the most part, now my music is used to glorify God. So
Okay. So I love it. And I'm going to throw. It's not a jab. Please don't take it as a
For
jab.
sure.
But
Man, all good. Thick
with
skin.
with your TikToks, the music in the background, I just wish you
Yeah,
could change it.
absolutely. Yeah, because that was
I don't like the swear words and I don't like the N word.
right. Absolutely.
So it would be cool if you just change that up a little bit to make it a little bit more positive. In my
Right, for the future, I do
yeah
agree for the future videos because it is profanity in it, and I'm like,
yeah yeah.
because I
And
try to go
I
with
see the
something.
TikToks that you are a Christian and you're following God. So I'm like,
Yeah.
let's just change it up a little bit, you know.
He said, let's just change it.
And that's why I want you to watch Church B, because
Absolutely,
he don't swear, he's he's such a good dude. He really is, and
absolutely.
he has a lot of good music. And maybe you can
You said it's going to be in the comments of the video that you're making.
yes, it is. It will be right.
Oh, okay,
I'm going to post a couple of his videos in the description. You guys can go over and follow him over on YouTube. I subscribe to his channel because he's awesome. He's a really good dude, and you'll see he's basically
perfect,
he always has pirate hats on and stuff like that. So he's here in the Pittsburgh area.
perfect. About what time? When is it going to be released?
I'm going to release this. So we're filming this today on Monday. I'm going to edit this video, and I'm going to put it out tomorrow on Tuesday.
Okay, perfect. No problem, man.
And it'll be
But yeah,
it'll
so
be
I'll be posting more videos, less definitely
yes.
less profanity. But yeah, because the song that made 1.6, that's actually me in my when I was young. That was a song that was Hollywood type stuff as well. So
Okay.
um
And your TikTok is TRELL144.
correct, sir.
All right. So guys, please follow Terrell at 144.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you for taking time out of your day to message me, or I mean to
Absolutely,
join
man.
me here and talk to me. So,
Hey man, I appreciate you, Tim.
all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that interview as much as I did. Like I said, we're looking at doing a part two. Please leave comments, give me a thumbs up, and go follow him over on TikTok. Well deserved, very good person, and I hope to do more of these. If you guys want to be interviewed in the future, please reach out to me over on Discord, private message me, and we will get that scheduled in the future. For now, that's it, guys. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.